"They made us," Mara whispered, her hands trembling as the holographic archives lit up the dark chamber. The files were undeniable. Thousands of years of history, every war, every leap in progress, every miracle of human survival had been orchestrated, not by gods, not by chance, by the Elvari. She turned to Daniel, her partner in the excavation, his face pale in the glow. Every invention, every turning point. They were pushing us, shaping us like clay. Daniel scrolled through the alien records, his throat dry. The evidence was too perfect. DNA charts showing inserted sequences, behavioral conditioning studies, neural programming. The Elvari had engineered humanity from the very beginning, not as equals, but as pets, worse, as tools. The files read like reports from a breeder. Subject Batch H, 34 shows increased problem-solving capacity. Cognitive leap surpasses projections. Begin selective pressure via controlled disasters to induce resilience. Another entry, aggression levels rising. Good. They adapt faster under stress. Mara's voice cracked. They weren't watching us. They were raising us. Outside, in the orbiting alien mothership, the Elvari commander, Zyrith, monitored the feed. The humans had uncovered the truth far earlier than anticipated. But he didn't care. They always reacted the same way: confusion, despair, and finally, acceptance. Pets never fought back. Zyrith smirked as his assistant approached. "Do they know yet?" "They know everything," the assistant said. "Good. Let them. It changes nothing." On Earth, panic spread like wildfire. Leaked recordings of alien communications confirmed the worst fears. Humanity's first encounter with extraterrestrials wasn't contact. It was ownership. The Elvari broadcast messages of reassurance. "You are our greatest creation. We cherish you. You have fulfilled your purpose better than we imagined." To them, humanity's fear was amusing. To them, it was no different from a dog realizing its leash existed. But Mara couldn't stop staring at one particular line buried deep in the files. Failsafe. Obedience programming effective in 99.9% of cases. Probability of complete behavioral nullification due to genetic drift. Infinitesimal. Her stomach turned. Infinitesimal, but not impossible. Daniel leaned closer, eyes narrowing. What if we're the anomaly? For centuries, humanity had looked at the stars with awe. Now, as alien warships descended like shepherds gathering their flock, the awe was gone, replaced by a sickening realization. Earth was not unique. Other planets existed. Pens filled with similar engineered species, most of which never questioned their servitude. The Elvari were proud, condescending, and utterly blind to the possibility that humans were already different. Generations of survival against impossible odds, wars that nearly destroyed them, disasters that forced them to rebuild stronger each time, all of that twisted them into something unpredictable, something unmeasured by alien charts. At the United Coalition's Emergency Summit, world leaders argued, while alien representatives watched with polite amusement. The Elvari explained everything like parents revealing a long-kept family secret. "You were designed to endure. You are our success story. We gave you language, fire, civilization. We guided your wars to make you strong. And now you belong to us." Some humans, broken by the revelation, accepted it. Others raged, shouting defiance, but their anger looked pitiful in front of towering aliens who claimed ownership over their entire species. Mara and Daniel, however, couldn't stop thinking about that infinitesimal probability. The more they studied, the more they realized the Elvari's calculations hadn't accounted for the chaotic, stubborn nature of human evolution. Neural pathways had shifted. Traits meant to make humans obedient had mutated, twisted, even backfired. A chilling thought began to spread among the human resistance. Maybe the leash was already broken, and the Elvari simply didn't know it yet. Zyrith visited Earth himself to calm the unrest. His voice carried over every broadcast, smooth and patronizing. "You need not fear. You have always been ours. Nothing will change. We will guide you as we always have. You are precious to us." People listened in silence, staring up at the holograms of their so-called creator. For the first time, some didn't feel fear. They felt something sharper, more dangerous. In a dim underground lab, Mara looked at Daniel with a spark of something alien to the Elvari. Hope mixed with fury. They think we're pets. They think we'll never fight back. Daniel closed the alien file and met her gaze. Then let's make them regret it. Far above Earth, Zyra turned away from the human broadcasts, content in the illusion of control. The Elvari had been running this experiment for millions of years across countless worlds. Never once had a subject species broken free. Never once had they seen the leash snap. But deep in the human genome, the impossible had already happened. Daniel watched the news feeds as alien patrols marched openly through major cities. The Elvari distributed new compliance devices, bracelets that monitored neural activity and sent pulses of pain if a wearer exhibited aggression. They called it a safety measure, but everyone knew it was a leash. The world looked defeated. Politicians made concessions. Leaders bent the knee in exchange for promises of guidance and partnership. Many humans told themselves it was better this way, better to survive as pets than to be annihilated. But beneath the surface, something was stirring. The obedience pulses didn't always work. A soldier in Nairobi ignored 3 consecutive shocks before killing his handler with his own weapon. A factory worker in Brazil tore the bracelet off and hurled it at an alien guard. Each incident was dismissed as a glitch, but the glitches spread. Mara and Daniel traced the pattern. The genetic failsafe wasn't just eroding, it was collapsing. Evolution had outpaced alien design. The Elvari had been so certain of their control that they never bothered to check. At a secret meeting in an abandoned warehouse, 20 people sat in a circle lit by a single lamp. Soldiers, engineers, farmers, ordinary humans with fire in their eyes. Daniel laid the alien files on the table. They think we can't fight back. They're wrong. Our minds aren't bound anymore. And if we're free, we can win. An older man scoffed. Win? Against them? They have fleets, weapons we can't comprehend. We've been underestimated our entire existence. Mara cut in sharply. Every extinction event, every war, every plague, we survived. They think we're predictable. They have no idea what we can do when we stop playing by their rules. The group began planning, not grand strategies, just small acts. Cutting power to alien installations, stealing weapons, passing coded messages hidden in ordinary broadcasts. When the first major act of defiance came, it shocked even humans who pulled it off. In the coastal city of Varenport, alien security forces found their barracks burned to the ground. No alarms had sounded. No patrols had spotted anything unusual. Someone had planned every step perfectly, using nothing more than human ingenuity and stolen alien scraps. Zyra dismissed the incident. They're lashing out. Nothing more. This will pass. It always does. But it didn't pass. Acts of rebellion multiplied. Sabotage in orbital shipyards. Assassinations of alien officers. Entire cargo freighters of weapons disappearing. In the shadows, humans discovered something terrifying. They were learning alien technology far faster than predicted. The Elvari manuals, written with clinical arrogance, became blueprints for weapons. Devices meant for obedience were hacked and turned into tools of resistance. Daniel stood over a crude bomb assembled from alien components. They think we're clever pets. Let's show them how dangerous clever pets can be. The Elvari began increasing their presence, sending more troops, more ships, more warnings. Their speeches grew less patient and more threatening. You belong to us. Zyra roared over global broadcasts. You always have. There is no freedom for what was made. But in human hearts, the leash had already snapped. A single act changed everything. In the city of Harrogate, a human soldier assigned to an alien squad simply refused an order to execute a dissenter. The alien commander repeated the command. The soldier raised his rifle and shot the commander instead. The footage went viral within hours. For the first time, every human saw proof. The leash was gone. They could disobey. They could fight. Panic rippled through the Elvari ranks. This had never happened. Their perfect system, their flawless obedience, was unraveling. Zyratha's confident smirk began to fade. In underground cells across the world, Humans gathered weapons, plans, and resolve. They weren't just rebelling. They were evolving. Daniel looked at Mara as he loaded a stolen alien rifle. This is just the beginning. And when it's done, Mara replied, her voice steady, they'll wish they'd never made us. The first strike was nothing short of brutal. In the dead of night, coordinated cells across 3 continents launched simultaneous attacks on Elvari outposts. Explosions ripped through barracks. Communications towers burned. Alien patrols were ambushed with improvised weapons crafted from stolen tech and human ingenuity. The Elvari were unprepared. They had never fought an enemy that thought like this, erratic, relentless, and utterly unpredictable. Humans didn't follow patterns. They didn't follow orders. They adapted faster than the aliens could respond. Daniel led one of the raids, his squad using jury-rigged plasma launchers cobbled together from scavenged alien components. We're not soldiers, one of the companions muttered. Daniel smirked. Neither were they once. The attack was success. An entire Elvari command post was obliterated, and for the first time, humans captured alien weapons in bulk. Engineers worked tirelessly, reverse engineering every piece. Within days, they had modified the weapons to be even deadlier than the originals. The Elvari Council was in disarray. Zyra slammed his clawed hand on the table during a meeting. They are vermin. We bred them to obey. An advisor spoke hesitantly. We bred them to adapt. Every disaster we placed before them made them stronger. Perhaps we made them too well. The galaxy watched in horror. Word of the human rebellion spread to other enslaved species. None of them had ever dared defy their masters, but whispers began to circulate. The humans are different. The attacks became more daring. Humans sabotaged supply lines, hacked alien drones, and planted false signals to lure enemy fleets into ambushes. Every tactic was improvised, ruthless, and terrifyingly effective. Mara's unit became infamous. They captured an entire alien frigate by tricking its crew into thinking it was under attack from a fleet. When the panicked crew abandoned ship, the humans boarded it and claimed it as their own. The Elvari could not comprehend how their perfect creations had turned into hunters. Each battle revealed another horrifying truth. Humans didn't just fight to win. They fought to learn. Every skirmish taught them more about alien strategy, technology, and weaknesses. Soon, the humans weren't just using alien weapons. They were improving them. Plasma rifles fired hotter. Shields became stronger. Ships that once required entire alien crews were being operated by a handful of resourceful humans. Zyra stared at a battle report, unable to process the numbers. Dozens of outposts gone. Entire squads wiped out. Their own weapons turned against them. Why? He whispered. Why are they like this? No one answered. The rebellion escalated further when humans began hunting the Elvari themselves. Captured aliens became living databases. Every scrap of knowledge extracted. Every secret weapon uncovered. For the first time in galactic history, the Masters knew what it was to be prey. In a chilling display, humans released footage of captured Elvari officers being forced to watch as their fleets burned. The message was clear. The pets had become predators. Daniel stood on the bridge of the captured frigate, looking at a map of alien strongholds. They thought they built perfect tools, he said coldly. All they did was forge perfect predators. The galaxy trembled. Species that once mocked humanity's primitive savagery now whispered in fear. If humans could turn on the Elvari, what would stop them from turning on everyone else? Mara watched as another alien fleet burned in orbit, her expression unreadable. They made us hunters, she murmured, and now they know what it feels like to be hunted. But the humans weren't stopping. Each victory fueled them. Each captured ship became another weapon in their growing arsenal. The leash was gone, and the galaxy was starting to realize humanity had no intention of ever wearing one again. The war ended faster than anyone predicted, but not because the Elvari surrendered, because their empire collapsed under the weight of its own arrogance. Entire fleets vanished in ambushes they never saw coming. Outposts that stood for millennia fell within days. Humans moved like predators who had spent their entire existence preparing for this moment. Zyra sat in the shattered council chamber, his once pristine armor scorched and dented. Reports flooded in, Planetary garrisons gone silent. Shipyards overrun. Supply chains destroyed. How? He whispered, his voice hollow. How did it all fall apart so quickly? An advisor, trembling, gave the answer no one dared to speak before. We created them to survive. We forced them through every imaginable hardship. We designed them to endure the impossible. And now they are everything we feared they could become. Human fleets, once cobbled together from stolen parts, now roam the stars, improved and weaponized beyond anything the Elvari had ever built. Captured alien scientists were forced to help refine human technology, and within months, the former pets had ships faster, deadlier, and more efficient than their creators could imagine. The last Elvari stronghold fell in a storm of fire and chaos. No negotiation, no mercy. Humans swarmed like a force of nature, unpredictable, relentless, and utterly ruthless. For the first time in recorded history, the galaxy understood true fear. Zyrith, bleeding and defeated, was dragged before human commander. His once superior gaze was gone, replaced with hollow disbelief. "We gave you everything," he rasped. "Language, civilization, power. You were nothing without us." Daniel looked down at him, eyes cold. "And that was your mistake. You thought making us stronger meant we'd stay weak." The execution was broadcast across the galaxy, not out of cruelty, but as a message. The age of the Elvari was over. The humans, the former pets, were now the apex predators of the stars. Other species, long enslaved, watched in silence. Some celebrated the fall of their masters. Others cowered, terrified that the new rulers of the galaxy were far worse than the old. Mara stood on the bridge of the flagship, watching as alien worlds surrendered without a fight. "They called us pets," she said quietly. They never understood that pets can bite back. Daniel stepped beside her, staring at the glowing map of newly conquered territories. "And now," he said, his voice steady, "we're the ones holding the leash." The galaxy would never forget what happened. Stories of humanity's rise spread like wildfire, how a species bred to obey had become the deadliest force in existence. Whispers echoed in every shadowed corner of the stars. If the humans could overthrow the Elvari, who would stop them next? The last recorded transmission from the Elvari to the wider galaxy was short, panicked, and full of dread. "We made them. We thought they were ours. Now they are coming for you." On Earth, rebuilt cities hummed with alien technology, now repurposed for humanity's future. But behind the progress lay a truth the galaxy could not unsee. Humans had never been satisfied as pets. They had learned, adapted, evolved, and finally consumed their masters. As fleets of human warships stretched into the unknown, Mara's final words echoed across every comm channel, a declaration to all who might resist. We were their project, their creation, their possession. But they forgot one thing. You can't own predators forever. And with that, humanity claimed the stars, not as caretakers, not as servants, but as the new masters of a galaxy that would never again underestimate them.